Hey traders, John Howell here. Today we're going to be looking at the good old stocky market. Going to be sharing a few things that's really important. I'm going to be obviously looking at the small picture, but there's something really interesting that's happening on the big picture, and it's something simple, but it really helps you stay calm in the midst of this crazy volatility. Plus also there's some interesting things happening with silver and gold right now. So I'm going to be touching on those as well too. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. A lot of you guys have been asking me about how I trade the markets. What sort of strategy do I use? What sort of system I use? So I've actually put together a free training for you guys, walking you through all of the details and all the steps, plus also the 3 secrets you can see on the screen right now. They're the 3 secrets you can walk through. I've actually just put that up. I've actually just put that up today. So if you go, there should be a very first link in the description. Go click on that. Go over. You can register, and you're gonna get free instant access. And you got to see exactly how I personally trade the markets. I do these market updates, but what sort of strategy do I use to employ into any market? Crypto, forex, futures, stocks, and even when trading options as well too. So very first link in the description, guys. It's free. You're going to absolutely love it. Go check it out right now. So right now, guys, what's happening? We are going through one crazy volatile movement, right? We can see, look at these bars, right? Down, up, down, up. The volatility, if I bring up to the closer view, look at this volatility, just absolutely just lots and lots of volatility. Now, they normally call it Rocktober, right? It's like this is Rocktober in the markets. And so that's the Dow Jones. This is the S&P 500. I'll bring that up in just a minute. S&P 500, look at this all here. Down, big down bar, big up bar, big down bar, big up bar. Lots of volatility, right? Lots of up and down, up and down. So guys, please, this is the time. Sometimes the best thing to do is step aside and watch this craziness go, and then wait for the market to get some normality back to it. This up and down, up and down, up and down is crazy. So trying to trade this right now is very risky. So sometimes the best thing to do is step back. Like I'm actually in the markets right now, long term, especially energy sector. Like go to the energy sector, right? Oh my goodness, my options on the energy sector for the last month. Talk about a slingshot pattern working. Some of you guys actually had a go at me about the slingshot pattern not working. Have you seen the energy sector? Right? Options are going crazy right that thing there. Anyway, so looking at the markets, we're going through a lot of volatility. So it's really important that sometimes when we stay calm, but secondly, it's okay to step back and say, you know what? I'm not doing anything right now in the market. One, I don't really have any clear setup. But also, again, if you're looking for my trading setup, exactly the setup I actually look for to trade for, again, you'll be able to see that. I'll walk you through all the details. I'm actually going to share with you everything I look for. But looking at the markets here, that again, if you're trading the markets, it's okay sometimes to step back when you're not too quite sure, right? And just let the market do its thing for a week or two, or maybe even this thing lasts all of October. Sometimes the best thing to do, right, is step back. Stay calm. Let the market do what it's going to do. Develop some really good trading patterns, and from those trading patterns, then you can start to get ahead, right? So the worst thing you want to do right now is jumping on this volatility and going up and up and up and down and losing your shirt, because this volatility is crushing people. People going short, people going long, people going short. That's crushing people. And then suddenly November and December, we start to skyrocket up again. We start to go on some really nice trends, but you're too afraid to be part of the markets because of your impatientness, okay? So just guys, sometimes it's good to be patient, okay? Just wait for some good clear setup. So we're seeing this through here on the S&P, and even the Nasdaq as well too. You can see the Nasdaq over the last this is the last 3 months here. We can see what's just really not much going on here. Now, here's something that I was mentioning to you at the start of this video. A lot of the times when we're looking at the charts, we're looking at here, and we're looking at the last, on this Nasdaq chart here, for example, we'll look at the last 3 months of data, right? Data. And the one thing I've learned over the last 17 years of trading the markets, and I was very fortunate that one of my earliest mentors, he turned like 20 grand and 3 million in about 5 years time frame. He turned that $20,000 into $3 million, a $3 million trading account in 5 years. He just kept growing it. But one of the big things he says that John, learning how to read the weekly chart really helped him understand where are we in the big picture so he can see what's going on. So while we look at this picture here of, you know what, there's really nothing too clear here, right? We've got a lot of higher high, we've got a lower high. There's really just not much going on, right? There's nothing really too clear. But if we go back and we have a look at the weekly charts here, look what we have here, right? We've had what? We've got a very strong upward trend to this day, right? So if we have a look at this here, we can see on the weekly charts, and this is something that the Nasdaq has actually done quite well or quite often over this period of time, right? We've had a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, another higher low, and look what's happened. We just ran up, and now we're getting a pullback. So we have these higher low here, another higher low. Remember, this is the weekly chart. Higher low, and then now we're probably going to get what? We're probably going to get another higher low in the market. So we're looking at the daily charts and it's like it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. I personally would like to see a bit more of a pullback because that's gonna create a bit more of a slingshot move to the upside. Or maybe, just maybe, we're not going to get a 10+% correction. Maybe this correction is starting to run out of steam. So we have to wait and see with that. I'm going to share exactly what I'm looking for to say, okay, this downward leg is running out. I'll share that with you in just a minute, okay? But the first thing I want to share with you is the weekly charts. Notice how we've been, every time we get these pullbacks in these weekly here, guess what happens? We continue to make these higher lows all the way up, higher low, and so on and so forth, right? So that's a really, really important thing to look out for. It's okay, we're making these higher lows in the markets there. So even though we're getting this pullback here on the Nasdaq, this has actually happened in the past a few times on Nasdaq. Look at these big drops through here, right? We had this nice big pullback through here for a few months. Then it rallied up, and then a big drop, and then a rally back up. A big drop and a rally back up. But notice the significance, right? Significant higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and so on and so forth, right? These significant high lows, especially when looking at that weekly chart, we can see what? We can see how that the market is actually telling us, yeah, we're getting an upward trend right now, but or we're getting a pullback right now, but this trend still is intact. And we're getting a lot of that sort of stuff on all these markets, even the S&P 500. Even though we're getting a pullback right now, look what the S&P 500 is doing, right? We're just still getting these, we're just getting a bit of a pullback here, right? Same thing here, pullback, 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 and these pullbacks, right? And we've got these pullbacks in the past. Is this going to be something more than just what we're getting right now? Probably not. What I mean by that is that, you know, the worst case scenario I see of this happening is 10%, roughly 10% down, and then a move, and then we're going to see a move back up to new highs. Or maybe, just maybe, says the market says, you know what's happening right now? We're getting a bit of volatility before we break to the upside. I'll let the market tell me what's going on there, but the interesting thing is we're still on a very big upward overall trend on the weekly charts. Now, that's the big picture, okay? We're in the big picture. Now, what are the key things I'm looking out for to say, okay, this downward leg is now running out of steam and we're now likely to be starting an upward leg. And that is what I call momentum resistance or momentum trend lines, okay? Notice how that the market on, say, this S&P 500, notice how we actually rejected. Okay, so we rejected a lot through there. So this tells me that this market on this pullback, this is like what I call a momentum trend line on the downside. What happens if we start to get something like this and then we start to get something like that? That'll tell me what momentum on the downside is now come to an end, and now we could possibly start getting something like this moving up, right? We might get a little bit of a sideways movement and then a continuation to the upside, because this downward momentum, because the market is telling us that the downward momentum is now possibly coming to an end. If I go to the Dow Jones, the Dow Jones, same sort of thing here as well too. We can have something going on through there, maybe. Possibly going on through, maybe something going on through there, right? Right, so something possibly going on through there. That'll be like the momentum trend line, and same for the Nasdaq as well too, right? We had this downward leg through here, this downward phase, as you can see, and that's actually touching. Look at all the touches. Bam. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6, 7, 8 days. It's actually rejected at that level. So for this downward pullback we're getting, for it to start to show signs of reversing, we want to see it get back above here, because once it does do that, remember I said before, guys, this big weekly trend is going what? Higher lows and higher highs. Now we're getting what? We're just getting a pullback, which is this point through here. If we're going to go for another move like that, we will start to see this first, and that'll give us the sign here on the daily chart that momentum on this pullback is coming to an end. And once that happens, then we're now likely to start to see this and another big leg up. And I believe this next leg up is going to be the one that I see having a big move to the upside. So there's two things there. One, big time weekly charts, and two, having a look at the short-term momentum periods to see whether this momentum on the downside, when it's likely to come to an end. Moving over now through to gold, and gold is just really just still stuck in this overall triangle pattern, and guys, I get it, right? I get it. People that are involved with gold, they are just their patience is running out, their patience is running thin. They're like, when's it going to make a move? The more this goes on, guys, the harder the break is going to happen, right? Because we have just been doing nothing for over 12 months now. Nothing. And when the market does nothing, if you look back over history, when the market does nothing for a long period of time, what inevitably happens, right? It's like putting your finger over the hose and it squirts. That's what's probably going to happen to gold. Now, it may be next year that squirt actually happens. We may just continue filtering through this triangle pattern for the rest of this year. We never know. But the idea is to sit back, be patient, and wait for the market to give us some sort of sign that, okay, we're now starting to break out. Because once the breakout happens, that's when the excitement could actually start to happen as well too. So very, very interesting happening on there. Also looking at the silver market as well too. Just right at this support level here, we had a bit of a drop back down to this major support level down here, and then now it's actually still down there. So I would say we have a sort of a major long-term resistance line going on through there. Right, so that'll be a long-term resistance line, and as you can see, we're squeezing up through here. So for silver to give us any bullish scenarios, bullish patterns of the markets, we want to see one, silver hold here, and two, we want to see it break above this major trend line, this major resistance line, because that's the trend line that's been knocking it down for all of this time. And even if I bring it back here just a little bit like that there, right, you can see how there, it rejected it there, and then also you can see through there. So that'll be the trend line that I'd use. So if we do start the break back above here, then it tells us that the triangle breakout is probably going to be, once it actually breaks the upside, we're now likely to get some follow through on the breakout. So there we go, guys. There's a bit of a shake and bake what's happening in the markets right now. Rocktober in the markets. And once again, guys, if you would like to see how I personally trade the markets, what sort of strategy I use, and plus some other things I use, how I actually find the trades, how I actually, and also the one thing that took me from losing a lot of money to actually making money, what was that one thing that did that? I've just put together a presentation for you, a training, and the very first thing in the description, and also at the end of the training, I got like a bit of a free gift for you as well too. So something amazing there. So anyway, guys, leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the actual markets itself. And let's actually remember, guys, just be patient. Just be patient. Sometimes it's okay to step back, and just let the market do its thing. And then when you're ready and you're confident, then let's go move forward with good risk management.